via Fox News. It says hip-hop producer Pharrell Williams is annoyed by celebrity political endorsements. And they actually quoted him and said, "Shut up, nobody asked you." He says, "I don't do politics. In fact, I get ignored. I get annoyed sometimes when I see celebrities trying to tell you who to vote for." That's Pharrell. And then there's another excerpt where he says, "There are celebrities that I respect that have an opinion, but not all of them. I'm one of the people who says, what the heck, shut up, nobody asked you." So he's kind of saying,
shut up and dribble.
Thank you. So he's kind of saying, I don't want to hear from these celebrities that are trying to force people to vote a certain way. And he also says there are certain celebrities that I respect that have an opinion. So is that kind of, do you get a two-sided vibe from that?
Like
or is he standing on?
Yeah, it sounds like
he's standing on business.
It sounds like he said what he said, and then he wanted to just play a little bit of damage control at the end.
Because Jay Moore, you've been a person that's always talked about on this show as we relate to rappers, shutting up, or we don't need to hear from some of y'all. Sounds like Pharrell is pretty much saying the same thing, but as it relates to how you vote. In the past, we've talked about politics or, political topics. We don't want to hear from certain people. What do you think about this, man, in terms of Pharrell saying that?
Because I first looked at it, I thought he was talking about, he said political endorsements, which is something I can understand.
Taylor Swift popping out endorsing, like she's a huge megastar, like
the actual official endorsement type thing.
Those, like Lone said with the air quotes, yeah.
But then this is the same dude. If you do your Googles, you'll find him in a vote or die T-shirt, which is a lot going on with that. Considering who started that campaign.
That's tough.
I don't, if it's not something that's in your heart to talk about, then I don't talk about it. But if it's something that you feel strongly about, then go ahead and voice, whether you're an artist, whether you're just a regular person, and somebody wants to engage in the discourse of political activity, then you shouldn't tell those people to shut up. Like, even if they're wrong, I think that's where I get annoyed, is where people will run with meme knowledge when it comes to political, and I think a lot of people got caught up with that with Vice President Harris, when they said she locked up more people. And like, that was a thing where, like, to the point where I was like, man, that's messed up. Yeah. And then, all I had to do was actually do my own research and realize that somebody who cared enough about me to point me in the right direction. I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong. And the people who I was looking at, who I thought were credible, were also wrong. So I think that's where a lot of people get in their trick bag, because you can have someone pull you to the side, and, it gets as wild as not only, the thing about Kamala Harris, but, lizard people and Pizzagate, and people believe these things.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Yeah, so this is, and the thing is, it'd be one thing if it was just, a disagreement, but like, now there have been bomb threats, in Ohio, and they've had to call in the National Guard behind the people doing these things. So I think that's where the problem is, people not doing their due diligence and how they form their political opinion. If I can show you with numbers based on the things that are important to me,
right?
Because some people I know some people who I think are they're going to vote Republican every time just based on the right to life thing. That's not something, so that's something I'm never going to convince those people that that this person has a policy that's better for fixing our roads, and some people vote just based on guns. No, but but I know some people who vote based on the right to choose. Right. And so, like, if
some people are one ticket voters,
but the thing is, like, if there are people like if you can put, a substantive argument behind the things that are important to you and maybe are important to other people, then that is something that you can run with. But if you're just running off of something that you saw on Instagram that your racist uncle said, then that's not actual. Honestly, if that's how you generate your political ideas and your political opinions, you should keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Lone, as it relates to just him speaking to, stars or entertainers or whatever, and their overall effect of what they can or cannot do in terms of forcing people to vote a certain way?
I feel fairly similar to Jay. I than what Jay said. I feel like a lot of people will say, well, politics just aren't important to me. And I come from an angle of, if you live in the United States of America and you are a human, politics should care to you to some degree. I feel like media literacy right now is at an all-time low. And on one hand, it's like I don't want to limit anybody from having an opinion, but at the same time, sometimes if you're big, like if you're a big person, you have a lot of influence over people. You're going to influence people to do things that is damaging. And, and the media is the way everything's set up with the algorithms. It's just like, it's just like a free for all at this point. So if you don't have any want to go out to learn stuff, then you're not going to. If you watch a video or you see a meme and you want to believe whatever this is, you're going to believe it. There's bazillions of people, just like the eat your dogs thing and all that stuff. There's all this misinformation about like immigrants and immigrant crime and murder rates and stuff. If you go look at the Customs and Border Patrol of how many homicides have been reported by Customs and Border Patrol this year, it's 25. That's it. So it's like, that's like a big thing, that's going on right now, the immigration and all this other stuff. But if you actually start looking into immigration, then you start to see, undocumented people, even though they're not documented, they're a net positive to our economy. Yeah. And all these other things. You're like, well, then why, if the Republicans care so much about the economy, why are they so anti this? It's like, then it gets into more deep rooted that they just don't like brown people. But, it's just what it is. But anyways.
Chicken and curry.
I don't know, man. I feel like I don't really like the way Pharrell said that. I feel like he could have said it better, but yeah, sometimes I'm victim to it too. Sometimes I hear people talking. I'm just like, just shut up.
Yeah, he just had a Kanye moment and didn't lay it down the way that he wanted to. But I think personally for me about celebrities endorsing politicians, it's generally always, I hate to say B-list, but it's always a celebrity that you really could care less about, that seems like they had a light bulb go off and this makes so much more sense to me now. And now you're taking advice from somebody off of their celebrity. Now, if the celebrity, i.e. Taylor Swift, says, I feel like these issues align more with me, you should do your own research.
Right.
But I'm going to vote for this. That's being a responsible celebrity. I don't think you should be able to quiet somebody because of their political view, whether they be Republican or Democrat, but it's the way that they deliver it to you. So you have certain celebrities that are like, oh, this is the way, and my dad taught, I'm speaking specifically about Amber Rose when I say this. Mm-hmm. My dad taught me about this, and I was arguing with him for years, and then I seen the light, and he's not such a, you know what I'm saying? All this surface level stuff that is going to pull people in that aren't going to research anyway. Yeah, they just see this person that, oh, I like her and I believe her, so I'm going to rock with her, versus doing the education to actually, you know what I'm saying, learn about these candidates. But I don't see anything wrong with a celebrity saying, this aligns with me personally, but you should do your own research. Mm-hmm. But this is who I'm rocking with.
I think Terry's point, the delivery and the homework, like you say, do your homework, do your due diligence, because some of these people that have a huge influence, millions of people that listen to them or social media followers, that can be super dangerous.
Yeah, like the influencers, like Aiden Ross.
Mm-hmm. He's an idiot.
It means you are a far right authorization on ultra analyst, political ideology movement characterized by dictator leadership, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition. So I don't know what that means, right? I swear to God, I don't know what the fascism is. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough to stand on to even endorse anybody. It's more so off of, this is the popular thing to do right now. If you haven't noticed, it's very popular to do the contrarian thing now. So it doesn't matter what's right or wrong. If you're doing a contrarian thing, then you're not a hive mind and you're not a sheep.
You're a free thinker.
Yeah, you're a free thinker, which is crazy in itself, because it bothers me to see people that are following a certain demographic call other people sheep.
First of all, you got to realize a lot of these people are being paid.
100%.
Amber Rose did this for money.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Lil Pump, is that the guy?
Same.
Pump, Pimp, whatever. Same. Something tells me Taylor Swift did not do this for money.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
She don't need it.
Because honestly,
She definitely don't
we
need the
haven't
bread.
heard about. The last time anybody even talked about Lil Pump was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he first came out there and was called Lil Pimp. And so, like, you have to take that with a grain of salt. And, like, sometimes I just want to see, the thing is, what we've lost in this country a lot of times is asking follow-up questions. And it's like people feel like you're badgering them when you ask them follow-up questions. Like, I remember when there was the whole thing of, like, is President Obama born in the United States of America? And people would say no. And then when you followed up and asked them, like, he's born in Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah.
These people didn't think that Hawaii was actually a state in the union. So there are levels to this sometimes when you just ask follow-up questions. Like, I guarantee you, if you ask Lil Pump, what are the 3 legislative branches of the United States government? There's a good chance he's not going to know. You know, and the thing is, he's never had any use for that information in his life. And so he'd probably be like, I don't know, man, whatever. Like, just know I like Trump. I like the red hat and his check cleared. And that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But you guys got to be aware of people's motivations.
Yeah, that's real. Influence in this era is very powerful and can be very dangerous.